Big win, Don Wilson here for Top MMA News. Here with Jesse, the body snatcher Ronson, and we didn't get to talk to you after the huge win over Ricci, but why don't you talk to us about how great that fight was for you to get the win there?
It was actually a pretty big fight. I didn't expect him to be as tough as he was. I watched a lot of his Thai boxing fights because watching the fight happen, what's his name? Mauro Ranallo was like, he wants to test Ricci's suspect chin, although he was undefeated. Well, I seen him get dropped in his Thai boxing fights, and I thought that's what was going to happen. And it didn't. He was tough, and it's good to take out another undefeated guy.
We just got to let some people walk by here. We seem to be in everyone's way. Now, you definitely did great in that fight, and you told everyone you were going to bring something special into that fight. Now, obviously, what you had on display there were ripping, terrifying body shots. But what else did you bring out in that fight?
Showcasing a lot of my head movement, being able to not just get out of the way, but get out of the way, stay in the pocket, and be able to trade back and rip those body shots. That's one thing I wanted to show was my being able to stay in front of somebody and not get marked up.
Now, the big thing was you said after that win you were going to call out for a new management company to get you to that next step in your career. I saw it on Twitter. So, did another management company step up for you?
Yeah, Robert Rivetta, the guy that manages Hominick and Hordesky and Stout from De Niro Sports Agency, him and I got in touch, and I'm signed with him now.
Beautiful.
So big things, yeah.
Well, the UFC isn't next, but it could definitely be on the horizon. But what is on the horizon is Ryan Healy, a tough, durable guy that's pretty much fought everywhere and everyone, and that's the next great test for you. How do you feel about that fight?
It's a fight that I'm looking forward to because it was either him or Paul Kelly, and him having just beaten the crap out of Paul Kelly, that's the guy that I wanted, right? Yep. Watching his fight with John Alessio, seeing that he did get dropped with some weak shots, and then watching his fight with Paul Kelly, it matches up really well with me. There's a lot of holes. Stylistically, I feel really comfortable fighting Ryan Healy, and he's a huge name. He is tough as nails. He's probably going to be one of the only guys that's actually going to make me move backwards because he doesn't back up and I don't back up. But in order to stay smart and win this fight, because he's always in shape, and like you said, he is harder than a coffin nail. It's a tough fight that I want, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now, especially stylistically, he's probably the best wrestler that you've faced to date. Was that something that you were looking for to make sure you could test yourself against, all the different aspects in MMA before you get to the big show?
Yeah, my last couple fights have been striking tests. I've had the jiu-jitsu tests, so now it's got to do the wrestling all-around tough MMA test, right? Because he's from Team Quest in Portland, Oregon. Those guys have been around since day one, so if they don't know MMA and wrestling, I don't know who does. So that's the next thing to showcase.
Now, do you have a prediction for the fight?
Yeah, but I don't really like telling my predictions because then it doesn't happen. But I think this one's going to be knockout quick.
Now, something I've seen a lot out of you recently that we never saw from you before, you've been in the ring with a lot of fighters, cornering them. How are you enjoying that, cornering some of the young up-and-coming guys?
It feels good. I like to pass on some of my knowledge, provided they listen, right? I'm cornering Joel Paquette and Jesse Gross, and Gross, he's been wanting to work with me a lot lately because he's really liking my head movement and my angles. He said I'm the only guy at the gym that goes in, can go 3 rounds and not have a black eye, not have a bloody nose, and just lay it on people, and he's liking that, so I've been helping him work on his angles a lot. You're going to see him tonight against Seji. And Joel, he's another guy that's recently been coming around, so I just like helping these guys, and it's good.
It's definitely good to see. And do you find you get anything out of it? I know a lot of people find when they train something, it either gives them a renewed love, renewed interest, or they find something that they weren't necessarily looking at before.
Helping these guys, it's letting me, sure, I know all the things that I'm showing them, but by teaching them, I'm looking back, and it's also improving myself and helping me, teaching the basics and the rudimentary of the technique. It's helping me get that technique a little more solid. So, and yeah, you're right, it does a newfound love for the striking and the angles of the sport, yeah.
Well, I've always had a found love for your body shots, as they're just amazing to watch and look painful as hell. Now, before we let you go, family, friends, sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
I ain't got no sponsor to thank except for Spray and Seal right now, but family, I always got to thank my mom, all my friends and family, Jade, Sean, Kyle, Spenny, Chad Dupreez, everybody at Adrenaline, everybody at Round 1, Brad Fowler, thanks for the help, Leo Laux. That's it.
Sponsors, if your name's not on Jesse Ronson's ass, the next time Score comes to Hamilton on November 21st, you're silly. Just silly. Anyway, once again, big win, Don Wilson. Jesse, the body snatcher Ronson, Top MMA News.